You are exhausted. It is a deep, systemic fatigue that a single night of sleep simply fails to touch. Sleep manages biological recovery, clearing adenosine from the brain and repairing tissue. Emotional burnout operates on a different frequency. When the nervous system remains locked in a high alert state, your mind continues to sprint even while your body is stationary. You likely continue to meet your obligations, answering messages and maintaining the outward machinery of your life, but this consumes massive amounts of cognitive bandwidth, leaving you feeling unanchored even as you remain productive. This gap between your public functionality and your private depletion often creates a sense of failure. It feels as though you are struggling significantly more than others just to reach the baseline of a normal day. This pressure intensifies if you occupy the role of the strong one in your social or professional circles. People rely on your stability, using your presence as a fixed point to navigate their own anxieties. Occupying this role often means processing the weight of an entire network without a support structure of your own. You maintain a facade of competence because you fear that showing any depletion would destabilize those who depend on you and assume the pillar was defective. But every material has an objective yield point. The fracture is a measurement of the load, not a flaw in the foundation. We often misinterpret our internal cracking as a lack of grit or character. We conclude we are weak, ignoring the fact that any structure will show signs of stress when the external weight becomes significant enough. Judging your core worth by the weight you are currently carrying creates a distorted view of your own capability. The pain you feel is a reflection of the burden, not your value. Shifting your perspective requires looking at the active mechanics of your current state. Keeping a heavy object suspended requires constant energy to counteract gravity. The friction in your mind and tension in your chest represent the metabolic cost. You are experiencing the heat of an engine running at its limit. This feeling of braking occurs because your psychological reserves are being deployed at a maximum rate. The fatigue is the literal byproduct of the immense energy you are spending to stay upright. On your hardest days, endurance narrows down to a physiological baseline. It is the conscious choice to take the next breath and remain present despite the pressure. Psychological distress serves as a biological footprint of a fight. It is a signal that you are still actively pushing back against the weight. Recovery rarely follows a clean, predictable path. We often expect that yesterday's efforts will lead to a proportional amount of relief today. This chart contrasts the expected trajectory of recovery with the actual operational reality of healing from burnout. While the trend moves upward over time, the day-to-day data is chaotic and oscillating. Sudden, deep dips in the reality line are a standard feature of the process. Even after months of progress, a single stressor can trigger a regression that makes it feel like your previous efforts have been erased. Measuring your progress against a perfectly straight line makes these natural regressions feel like total failures. This can lead to abandoning the strategies that were working simply because of a statistical dip. Strength is the persistence to navigate these inevitable low points. Recovery is defined by the upward macro trend, not the volatility of a single day. To gauge your ability to finish this journey, we have to look past momentary feelings and examine the historical record. This counter tracks a concrete data point, your survival rate for every impossible day you have faced so far. That number stands at exactly 100%. Exhaustion often generates a feeling of impending doom, predicting that the current obstacle is the one that will finally break you. However, that feeling is contradicted by your verified history of enduring every previous challenge. Your past actions offer a more reliable set of data than the temporary fog of fatigue. The evidence confirms you possess the capacity to navigate high-pressure environments. The landscape forward remains steep, and the fatigue may persist for some time. Success is found in the simple refusal to put the burden down. Efficiency and mood are secondary to the act of remaining in the fight. Resilience is often unglamorous. It is the internal commitment made at the end of an exhausting day to try again tomorrow. Fatigue distorts your perception of distance, making the end of the journey feel further away than it is. Each day you choose to continue, you are moving closer to the resolution than your current state allows you to perceive. you are already demonstrating the choice to endure. That repeated decision is the only evidence of strength required to keep going.